It's Jason Abraham, the Shadow Teacher. And it is my belief that when you're looking at the true origin of the human species, that we have a spark of the divine creator, the consciousness of the divine creator within us. And when we have these transcendental experiences, we remember that, we connect to it in a profound way. But what I've found, even when we've had many of these experiences, we can still be pulled into the abyss. When we have gone the road less traveled, we have started to look at the deception that has been pulled over our eyes ever since we came into the world, and then we realize, part of our work and the necessary part of that deception is resistance and remembering, and again overcoming and pushing through the resistance to get stronger with that connection with the spark. Even when we've had that experience and we're on that path, we still can get pulled into the abyss. We can get pulled into the emotions of fear, anger, loneliness. And again, as I've said in previous videos, all those emotions are valid. It's when they start to pull over and over and over again on us, when we go into the downward spiral, that's when things can get dark and dangerous. And we go back into forgetting and starting to identify with this dark, dense element of this experience more so than the light. And we forget about the light. And recently I was having that happen to me. Again, I'm sure it will happen again. But what I found is when you accept that Christ consciousness, that higher spirit, it never gives up on you. And it shows up sometimes in ways that we never would have expected. And again, I was feeling very alone, very much separated from the people around me, just disconnected at the heart, feeling like an alien walking in a foreign land, a feeling that is not unfamiliar to me, but feeling this deep pull of the abyss on me. And I saw this old man who was struggling down the sidewalk, struggling with his walker, just shuffling one step at a time, being very conscious not to step on a crack on the sidewalk, and struggling to move. But that man, this elderly man, when I walked by, there's a moment of connection, and he looked up at me and he smiled, and he told me his story. And he was a horticulturist. He retired, someone who had a relationship with plants, absolutely loved plants, had a great passion with plants. And he didn't know me. I was a complete stranger. And he offered me a Japanese red maple, a very special plant to him. For him, that's basically like giving up, giving me a car, giving me like a Ferrari in his world. This Japanese red maple, a plant that was near and dear, and just offering me, a complete stranger, something that was very important and sacred to him, not even knowing who I was, just doing it out of feeling connection and kindness at that point. And then it hit me. I felt the light start to shine on me that was coming from him. What on the outside looked like a broken down old man, I felt a light, undeniable, shining out of his heart and penetrating mine, which was shriveling up like the Grinch. And at that moment, I knew I'd encountered the Christ Spirit, met the Buddha, and it was through him. It was through him that Spirit shed light on me when I needed it at that moment. And I was so grateful for that. And just again, a reminder, when sometimes, I talk about embodiment and strength, but occasionally that can be deceptive. Sometimes the body that the Christ Spirit is truly showing up in, it could be something that you never would have guessed. And I was just floored in awe and gratitude in that moment, and had such great reverence for this kindness that this man showed me and the spirit that I felt and needed to feel more than anything else at that particular point in time. So with that being said, we never know when we're going to meet the Buddha. You never know when you're going to meet Christ. You never know. A lot of times the form we're expecting him to show up in is not how he's going to show up, how the Spirit is going to show up. And again, I think when you're on this path, though, you feel it. It's like you will feel it when it shows up, and it will show up for you when you need it the most, when you feel like you're getting pulled into the darkness and you're forgetting who you are and what you came to be. So that being said, I am going to ride off into the sunset, though it's actually not too far after the sunrise. Sunset's a few hours away, many hours away, but I'm going to be on my way. And I wish you peace. I wish you embodiment of purpose and light, and I'll see you on the other side.